Today is Friday, March 27th, and we're going to start our recording of Windermere Memories.
Hi, I'm Winifred Johnson Sharp, and I have lived in Windermere, I guess since the 1970s when we built our home out here. However, my mom and dad, she was Beth Johnson, she was a legislator in the state, and my dad, George Johnson, in the 1950s bought the property where our house is now, which was next door to my uncle's house. His name was Newton McCollough, and he was a surgeon in this area. And my cousin McCarthy, who was with me, McCarthy McCollough, grew up in that house in the 1950s. So as I said, we have some really ancient memories, ancient memories. McCarthy?
I actually went to school out here. I was born in 1950 and lived in my house right from day one till after high school. But I went to school in the old Windermere schoolhouse. My sister and I did. There were all 6 grades in one room. And our streets were all dirt. We rode our bicycles and we water skied all day after school and had a great time with our friends. That's what we did for fun.
What are the biggest changes you've seen since you've lived here in Windermere?
Well, you have to remember this was us. We were not really in Windermere in those days. We were in the county. And our little road was, really, it was sand road. And we got stuck in it all the time, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Had to carry a shovel and newspapers and boards so you'd get your wheels moving again. And there were orange groves, and there were virgin woods out there. So it was wild and woolly. And we had horses. We had, at one point, we had 12 horses. And we used to get on the horses in the afternoon and ride miles through groves. There weren't any houses out here in those days. And of course, we had peacocks, which had been brought here by a lady named Mrs. Wilson, who lived up the road from the McCollough residence.
Right.
So the first night we moved into our house, bang, something went on the roof. And I thought, oh, the plane has landed. Something horrible's happened. And then you could hear these feet running, bang, 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 bang. Turns out it was the peacock. Peacock had arrived, and he brought his bride. And a few days later, another peacock arrived, and another bride arrived. And so that's how the peacocks came to live with us. And we still have people driving by our house just in hopes to see the peacocks. Yes.
I lived on Wasion Bay, right next to where her home is now. And we would water ski in the afternoons when I was about 5th and 6th grade. All my friends, that's what we'd do for fun. We'd need gas, so we'd come across Lake Butler, park our boats at a friend's house, and walk up to what was Paramore's grocery store, which is in the center of town now. It's no longer there. And we all had a little charge account there, and we'd go in and get Cokes or candy and gas for our boat so we could ski, and we'd lug the cans back down the hill all the way to Lake Butler, or we'd go to Luff's Sundry Store after school and get grilled cheese and root beer floats. It was the only place in town, actually. we all congregated there after school, and it was great fun.
Yes.
What are your 2 favorite places in Windermere? Could be then, it could be now.
Oh, I always loved Bird Island, which was in the center of Lake Butler. And we used to spend a lot of time as kids over there.
I have to say my favorite place has always been the lake. That's why we came out here. In those days, you could drink the water out of the lake.
That's what we had, actually.
And pristine, clean water and white sand with no muck and no ooze and none of these weeds that we have now. And
The best fishing ever.
the fish were fabulous.
I caught an
McCarthy?
8-pound bass when I was 7 years old. It was bigger than I was, and my dad had it mounted for me.
Have pictures?
I do. I do.
Then the other fun thing that we used to do when we came out to visit McCarthy was go out and shine flashlights
Alligators,
at
yeah.
alligators in
Yeah.
a little small boat. You know, we thought it was
Headlights.
great fun. We had no idea how dangerous it might
We'd
have
see their
been.
red eyes, and we use headlights. Yeah.
So that was my favorite place. Now today, I like the the little cafe down there because it has really good food. And we never had anything like that before in Windermere.
Anything else you'd like to share about Windermere? Your memories?
When I lived out here, it was like old Florida. That's how it used to be. And I had the privilege of growing up in this area and experiencing that. And I wish other children had that nowadays too. But it was great.
Yes, when you drive down our street, which is Lake Butler Boulevard, that's where it's called that now. I don't think it was called that in those days. It was a very small, sandy road and hazardous because you'd get stuck. Every time we came out here, we got stuck.
My dad ended up being the chief surgeon at Orlando, well, it was called Orange Memorial Hospital. And we had Hurricane Donna in 1960. And we had all the trees blocking our driveway and our road was blocked. And for weeks it was that way. And we had a constable that would come and meet my dad at the end of where McGuire is now. He'd have to walk down there 5:30 in the morning to go to Orange Memorial to do surgery, and then he'd bring him home. He'd have to walk back, but that's the way he had to get to work, so they sent the sheriff out to pick him up, our constable.
It was a really wonderful time,
It
and I was
was.
privileged to have shared part of that.
You did.
And the 70s were also a growing time because house after house was being torn down and new ones built. And now it looks really nothing like it did. But I think Windermere in its essence has remained pretty much the same as it was.
Dirt roads?
Yes, which is charming and wonderful.